So I found this Instructable online on how to use regular sandpaper with a palm sander, right? And the premise is that you glue an old piece of palm sanding sandpaper onto the back of a piece of plywood like this right here. Well, I've done this, and what the result is a mess. It just rips it up. In fact, I ended up taking my little sanding block, cutting out a piece of sandpaper to do this. It did work when it actually held it on there for like 5 seconds. So I started doing that, but it takes forever. So what I'm going to do is say that this is myth busted, at least for a Black & Decker mouse sander, and I am going to super glue this paper on this block of wood and still put it onto my palm sander. So that is how you use regular sandpaper with a palm sander. You glue it to the old palm sanding sandpaper. I'm going to use super glue. Use this thing and just super glue it on there. So let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm going to try and just use a little bit of glue, a little bit of super glue. Hopefully this works. Just a couple little dabs. Put my block of wood on there. Give it a couple seconds to dry. Then we'll test this thing out. Actually, I'm still going to put it on the... And if you haven't done this, it is a pain in the butt to get this block of wood off the palm sander. I'd say be careful and actually get something in there to part the Velcro, because it will just rip the absolute crap out of your palm sander. And unless this is a cheap palm sander, which this one is, cheap palm sander that you don't care about, I don't have money to waste, don't just pry the sucker off. It will pull pieces out. I've already pulled this top part off. Luckily it goes back on really easily. I'm pretty sure it was going to pull some of this other stuff off, so get something in there to pry it off. If this works, I'm just going to be gluing this stuff from now on. You got to plug it in. Alright, take two. Hey, I plugged it in that time. Here we go, let's see if it stays on. That's a negative Niner Tango. It's not even sticky anymore. So, take two. Alright, so I've taken the piece of wood off carefully and I put an old piece of sandpaper on this thing. And I'm going to glue sandpaper to sandpaper. See if this works. If you're wondering, why don't you just go buy some palm sanding sandpaper? It's expensive. I could buy 4 times the amount of sandpaper, regular sandpaper, I can than for the palm sanding stuff. And I have a bunch of this stuff. I say a bunch of it, I think I got like 10 sheets left. So I'd rather just use what I have. Give it a couple seconds to dry. Well, it sticks. So there's the issue. It soaks through. I call this myth busted. Trying to use regular sandpaper on a palm sander. It is not working at all. That's how it works. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so it kind of works. Moral of the story, glue it on there. Kind of works. Second moral of the story, don't use a palm sander to do a huge job. Oh my goodness, this is going to take me forever.